Hey guys, Queen Anne Handyman here. Today I'm going to change my water filtration system. We have the sediment trap here, it's pretty dirty. We've got heavy metals, and then we've got activated carbon. You can see I have these valves here, 3 valves, okay? So this is the input on-off valve. This is the output on-off valve. And this is the center control. So when I'm in service mode for this, I'm going to open this up. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to open this up. Okay, so now water is basically flowing through there, okay, through this loop. So the water comes down here, loops around to here, then now it's flowing back through. So now I can turn the water off to the filtration system. So there's that, and then the water out also gets turned off. So now there's no water coming through, and the water now is just traveling through the loop and back up. So now I can start taking these out. These come with this big huge wrench, and we're going to just first start with the sediment. On top here there's a little red button, and this basically just releases pressure in the line so I can actually get it off. So I'm going to hit that button, hit that pressure, a little bit of water comes out, okay? And now I should be able to easily turn that and get those undone. You'll always have a towel available because there's a lot of water in this stuff. All right, so the sediment filter is out, and you can see it's completely full, okay? What happens is the water's on the outside and it soaks through to the inside. So you can see this got fully used because there's no white left in the filter, okay? All right, so this is the nice new brand spanking new white, this is sediment filter. So basically, you're just gonna drop it in to the bottom, okay? Get it back in. And just rotate them back on. Same thing, use your tool underneath and tighten. Now, don't get crazy tight because eventually you got to take them off. So just make sure they're tight, but not insanely tight. Now we're going to move on to our heavy metals, okay? So, again, release the pressure at the top. That should give you some leverage here to get it out. Okay. And once it comes undone, then it's easy to get out. But again, you're going to have a lot of water that comes out of this because they're really full. So this is the heavy metals filter, and you can hear the material inside that, which is designed to filter out the heavy metals. So we're just going to drop that in. It's got 2 little rubber gaskets. Well, this doesn't have a rubber gasket on the bottom. Just a bunch of granules and stuff in there. So let's see, what does it say? Please don't open this cap. Okay. So we got a bottom and a top. That's the top with the rubber gasket. So we're just going to drop that in. And that's that. Same thing back over. And then just using some pressure on the bottom, pushing up on the bottom, and then rotating it to get it started, and then a 2-hand twist. Okay, then our tightening tool. Okay, nothing crazy. And now finally onto our final one, which is our activated carbon, which is the 3rd stage. Depressurize, a little bit of pressure, and that's it to take it off. Let's get that towel soaking wet here. And then we'll just pull that out. Here comes the water. This one is indeed dirty. All right, now we've got a new activated carbon filter, okay? And there is a top and a bottom of this. Actually, there isn't. They're both the same. So the other one that I pulled out was completely black. So we're gonna put this new one in. Okay. Again, pressure from the bottom and hand rotate. And then use your tightening tool to tighten. Okay, so now they're all in place. So now I'm gonna fill all these up. And so what I like to do is I want to decrease the air pressure in the line, because when I open this whole thing back up again, these things have to fill, and there's air in all of these things. So I'm gonna go upstairs to the kitchen sink. I'm gonna turn on the cold water supply line of my faucet, and that's gonna release any air that happens. That's the cause of these tubes filling with water. So they fill with water, all that air has to go somewhere. You don't want that pressure in your system, so get something open upstairs before you turn this thing on. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is open both the input and output at the same time. So I'm just going to open, and you can hear the water start to flow into my canister. So you can see the water flowing up to the top. Okay, then it goes into the next canister and then the next canister. And you can see on the pressure gauges, the water pressure will start increasing as they fill up. So we're gonna close off that center. Okay, now all the water now is running through our filtration system. I'm really just looking for leaks here to make sure that everything's sealed, and so far so good. And now almost fully pressurized. Now this is in the lowest part of my basement. I have this in the lowest part because sediment will tend to filter down to the lowest part and settle. And that's why this is down in my lowest level. So this sediment trap can grab all that sediment. It's really quite amazing. You know, this is city water. We're in Seattle, so city water. It's amazing still how much dirt and stuff is in our water system that we drink every day. I don't know. I mean, I do have a little bit of obsessive compulsive disorder myself, but when you see that sediment filter come out and it's like so filthy, you can just imagine that stuff is, you know, if you're drinking unfiltered water, just regular Seattle water, which is supposedly some of the best in the country, there's still a bunch of stuff in there. So yeah, if you can, you know, 3-stage filter is really nice. This filters 2 of our kitchens. We have 2 kitchens, and all of our refrigerator water. And of course the refrigerator water, the refrigerator has its own water filter. And even with this system, that refrigerator water filter still does need changing. It needs changing a little bit less because this is doing a bunch of pre-filtration for it, but it still needs some changing. All right, we are fully up and running. We're fully pressurized here. And another cool thing about these pressure gauges is when you see the pressure drop in these systems, you know that those filters are getting clogged. So keep an eye on your start. This one looks like at about 65 or 68 pounds per square inch, and it'll drop down to like maybe 55, and that'll be like, whoa, okay, I got to get in there and change it. So that's what I started seeing happen there. So again, really nice system from Express Water, heavy metals, whole house filtration. At minimum, you know, any of your drinking sources, make sure that it's filtered. It doesn't have to be a whole house filter. You can have an under the sink system. And if you go to my Amazon Linktree storefront, there's a couple of different systems that I have underneath there for just filtering your kitchen water, your kitchen cold supply line, or if you want to have a dispenser at the top of your sink. But highly recommend a 3-stage filter. I do not recommend the reverse osmosis. It wastes a ton of water. There's a bunch of filters. The maintenance on the thing is just, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it to me. And that's why I went with this system here. I want something that's easily changeable, that I can do myself. But I'm a handyman. But I mean that you could do this. I mean, this is something basic that pretty much anyone can do. But with those reverse osmosis systems, it's just so much money for the filters, and it wastes a lot of water. And it also pulls out a bunch of minerals that I think our body needs. So unless you're doing some kind of replacement system for those minerals, again, stay away from the reverse osmosis. Yes, it is the cleanest water that you can drink, but I don't think it's worth the cost and the amount of water that you waste.